Oh, well, good morning, Tartaria, Australia. I have to say that this is an odd show because we're sitting in basically a Faraday cage, a huge, giant old tractor shed, and our internet's bit F. How you going? And yeah, we're just gonna see how we go. So, hey, Cam.
Hey Cal, how you going? Sitting in the other room next to me, out of the
I know.
yes,
So
presenting
we've
on the
been.
farm. Yeah,
Yeah, we've been at the farm we're at the tail end of our 2 week volunteer experience. It's been fucking excellent. So good, Cam. So good.
yeah, man. We've had some amazing people. Well, everyone's been amazing. Come down. A few people have made a bit of an effort to get here, which is amazing. And we've had, yeah, man, great time. We've been building, having campfires, a few sneaky red wines at night, maybe. It's been great.
Yeah, and we've just been so amazed, and as always, as we're always amazed at the disposition of our community. Always such highly intelligent, creative souls, so committed and hard workers, and many have drived, from Melbourne and far to get here. And the experience has just been so amazing. There's nothing that makes me personally happier than building literally community on in the bush, getting dirty, getting covered in paint, and every day being able to step back and see what we as a little group have created. And then someone leaves and someone comes, and it's been like this beautiful flow for the last 2 weeks. And we've achieved some fucking amazing things, right?
Yeah, man. Like yeah, like yeah, when you got a few people working, like the change that happens just in a day or two is just crazy. So
Yeah.
of course we'll be posting all that footage. We'll put it all together once we're done here. But yeah, I mean, it just amazes me that people travel this far, but also we also we hear a common story, which is people are isolated, right? Like they don't know anyone else that they can talk to, and they just want to get out and talk, right? Uncensored and commune with people on their level. And that's sort of ultimately what, all of our events
Yeah.
and everything's really about, right? Is trying to get people
Yeah.
together, where you can be yourself, right? And you don't have to censor yourself, and you can, talk about your crazy theories or, what other people would call crazy. And so,
Yeah.
that's the best part of these kind of it's not really an event, right? But these, times where people get
Yeah.
together, and that's what we hear all the time. They just love being able to be around people on their wavelength, basically.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's a very common story, and it's definitely. I mean, that was the original motivation for our first live event. Was like get everyone together, be brave enough, get out of the YouTube screen, and present yourselves in true form, and gather, call the gathering. And it's a common theme that Campbell and I will be pushing through the next 50 years. Like we will be all about the fucking gathering and doing stuff as a community and the power in numbers.
Mm.
So there's so much to look forward to as a community here in Australia. Like I reckon there's about 10,000 of us in Australia. That's sort of my instinctual guess. 10,000 TA community members in Australia who have 50 years left to live beside us all. So
Mm.
we're really excited to start talking about what that's going to look like for our little, tribe here in Australia and what that's actually going to mean for us moving forward. So these events for me are really amazing and I just love them so much. So for everyone who's come and made the effort, I hope you've had a fantastic time. And I hope you've enjoyed watching the power of a community build things live every day and then gather around a campfire all day and into the evening and connect. I
Mm.
mean, it's just fucking excellent.
Yeah, and it's, when you do that, you make, best friends in a day, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so
Yeah.
interactive and you're building together
Yeah.
and you're talking. And so,
Yeah.
if you haven't come down, there will be more in the future. So keep your eyes out. And we're also doing a show in our hometown, Mullaney.
Yes, 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 we are, and it's gonna be a good show, Cam. Like we're doing something we've never done before, which is to basically trace the story of our invaders. Of course, we don't often um like think to talk in this way because obviously our invaders come with some heavy, heavy censoring. And but to actually look at who were the humans on the realm, who were the invaders, and what has happened since those two have come together, and go through the history of all of that as far back as we can place it, which takes, and then to also adapt the timeline so that we're looking at a
Mhm.
timeline without the additional time and putting that all up together. It's just like it's a bit of a fucking mind-blowing show. I think, Cam. I think for even the strongest Tartaria Australia followers and supporters, you will find it quite a mind-bending show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've started talking about it, and we all know time's manipulated, so we're definitely looking at the timelines and when things happened, and moving a few things around, and they seem to make more sense, right? And so yeah, we've been invaded. If you didn't know, we have. Look around,
Fuck,
you
we've
know,
been invaded.
we have, and at the moment we're in the apocalypse. They tell us. And there's all this, all this prophecy stuff coming up, and oh my God, this is happening. It's the end of the world. It's the last president. It's the last pope. It's blah.
Yeah.
But is any of that true? Because all of that information is coming to us via a screen, right? Via the networks that the invaders control, right? And of course, the invaders, whose names shall not be said because they own all, all the media, and they've sort of set it up that way, which is a good hint to who these invaders are, or at least the foot army, right? Like the henchmen of the invader. So yeah, come and see Similani. We'll leave the link below. Get some tickets. We'd love to meet you. So that's coming up. But
That's on the, yeah, it's on the 19th of July, so it's a month away basically.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, and it's
and
going to be very fucking cool because like even when we were starting to put it together the other night, like to actually comprehend the concept that the pharaohs timeline existed simultaneously to the city of Melbourne wasn't called the city of Melbourne, obviously, but the city itself and the pharaohs simultaneously shared time, which is, you really got to get your head around that mind-bending concept because we are so programmed to see the pharaohs in Egypt so far back in our timeline. So it's a really interesting show as far as changing the time, moving through the history as far as we can go back through our invaders and where that came from, and then looking at current events today. Which so the second half of the show will be looking at exactly what's happening today as a result of all this, and what we are to do about it.
yes, yes, how do we go forward powerfully? But we will be covering Tartaria as well. We've definitely had requests for that
Well,
from
hello,
our
of
other shows,
course.
so we definitely got to do that. But yeah, we've
I
been
mean,
looking.
Tartaria were the organic humans, right? The Tartarian
Well,
culture were the organic humans. So
yeah, we all know
we'll
about the
definitely be
waste bed,
covering
right?
Tartaria.
Yeah, we've all seen the orphan trains. We've all seen the empty cities, the destroyed cities, and it looks like an invasion, right? But on our timeline, that's what, three, maybe 400 years ago, that this all started, and we know that they love to throw time, everything back in time, right, and elongate all these timelines. But that's one of the big deceptions. So we're sort of playing around with what happened, and if the invasion only happened, 300 years ago, 400 years ago, then all the timeline needs to be looked at, right? We've got the 1,000 missing years, which we've all sort of looked into, what's going on there.
Mhm.
But basically, we're going to start at Egypt. We've done a few, well, Egypt will be one of the early points, and we've done a few shows on that. But the thing about Egypt is we have this concept that it's this ancient place with the pyramids, right? And it's 10,000 years old and all this that they try and tell us. But now in 2025, we understand that there's pyramids all throughout China, all throughout Europe, no doubt in Africa. They're
All
definitely in
throughout
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, so there's a network. So it's not like these pyramids in Egypt are this amazing one-off thing that they built and no one can work it out. And oh my God, what went on and all these gods. This was a network, and they're everywhere, and they're being rediscovered now, right? Which is
Yeah.
interesting. Which is another topic we're going to sort of touch on is this whole apocalypse thing. Is it real? Is all this bad stuff actually part of a cycle, or is it all being done by
Is it
geoengineering
is
and
it death programming?
yeah,
Is it
exactly.
death
Right?
programming?
Yeah, death cult.
Yeah,
So, so
yeah.
this is another
I mean,
thing.
we
Yeah, they're drawing us in to try and create the negative reality that they want. But when you look at what's going on behind the scenes and really sort of start to think, then you'll see there's a lot of good stuff going on, and they're just not telling us, right? They just, pumping this destruction and fires and tornadoes and earthquakes and oh my God, there's war and but it's all put out by the invaders themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the weather thing is, one can say that that's true. Like everything that's happening in the weather is very easily a result of, 100 years of weather control and manipulation.
Mm.
So, I mean, there are some abnormalities that one has to observe, Cam. Like, obviously, we've got this, you know, this new red sun,
The
star,
sun, yeah.
planet, whatever you want to call it. And then how does that fit into sort of, you know, our concept of the model of the Earth, and you've got like the plasmic shifts, and there's a lot of oddities in the sky right now. But we'll cover all that in the show, and
Mm.
just sort of. But yeah, I mean, like the death programming is an interesting one, and we can definitely see that with our teenagers, right? I mean, I don't know who out there in the world has a teenager, but really, they are living at 13 like they're 28. They're at 13, they're worrying about, when can I get a mortgage? When can I get out and make my millions? They're seeing examples of 14-year-olds online, influencers making millions already. Like they are worrying and living as if they were 10, 15 years older. The things that we would be concerned about in our 30s going back, through our generation, they're now worrying about in their teens. So it's almost like they're preparing to live a quick, short, fast life. Like there's this death programming that's coming in that's speeding up time, that's
Mm.
actually speeding up at least their version of reality and time.
Mm.
So, yeah, our young people aren't really, they're aiming to do it all very good and very quick and be, successful, professional, beautiful looking, healthy, optimal health before they've like hit almost the second year of puberty. It's fucking weird what's happening
Yeah.
with teenagers right now. And it seems their life expect
Expectancy.
expectancy is shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. We never thought about, we thought, oh my God,
Oh.
we won't even have to worry about that for another 20 years.
Yeah, well, I
To
mean,
worry about.
when I grew up, it was always the year 2000. It's coming,
Yeah.
everything's going to be amazing. Oh my God, we've got so much to live for, kind of thing, right? We had like a big future of potential. When now,
Long future, at least a
that's
100 years, right?
yeah, now it's like, oh my God, the world. This is the program. Is the world's going to end? It's all bad. Everything's going to, get flooded or
Got to
burned
be
or
successful now.
destroyed. Yeah, and so and there are a lot of people around now who say I'm ready to leave. This place is crazy, right? So
Yep.
that's all
And
program.
the climate change agenda, like that really got pushed. We were talking to someone who specializes in hypnosis, right? And one of the questions was asked is, what do you spend your most time doing with your patients? Like, why do they come to you? And the number one reason for teenagers is deep anxiety. Number one, he said that it's just like skyrocketed. And that skyrocketing nature is because of this death programming. They're so anxious about the environment. They're so anxious about being successful really quick and getting it all together before they've even left school to have a successful business, successful, have money in the bank to be able to go and get a mortgage and get them like optimal, optimal, optimal. And they're thinking this like before they've even left fucking high school, man. Like
Mm,
it's crazy and so they're deeply anxious. And at the same time, very few of them in this sort of sped up version of life are worrying about service to others. Very few
mm,
of them are there because they're very focused on how they can get their lives to be successful super quick and super young before they've even left school. Whereas when I left school, Cam, oh, fuck, man, I was like, I thought I might go to uni for a bit. I might do this. I was not in any rush. I wasn't worried about defining a career or defining a bank account, or certainly wasn't thinking about mortgages or loans or anything like that. I was happy to, get my little amount of money and buy my, pints of beer and live off noodles and, I
Yeah.
wasn't
In
thinking
the
this
old share
way.
house. Yeah, man.
In the share house, certainly wasn't. I am thinking these things now at almost 50. And I'm watching the teenagers try to get it all sorted before they've left school. Like
And that's
their
what
lives are sped
anxiety
up.
is, right? Anxiety is living in the future,
So a death
not living in the
programming
present.
puts,
Mm.
yeah, so death programming puts you in the future.
Yeah.
So hello to the version of apocalypse, this coming event, it puts all of our thinking into the future
Mm.
as it's a death programming.
It is, and
It's
it's
interesting.
with everything going on. It's like, again, when we were kids, like we expected that we'd be able to, buy houses and all this, and that they were in reach of everyone. Now, housing prices are pretty bloody expensive everywhere, right? So it's a stress on these children,
Yeah.
teenagers, that they'll never get one. So they have to do all this stuff. And then, they bring in food
Yeah.
shortages and all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff, right? To stress them out. So, this agenda's playing out on everyone, but definitely, especially on the kids, right? With all this
Yeah.
social media and
100%.
influencing, and you've got to hit this mark or you're not a cool kid, you won't be accepted. And then you've got to be a millionaire and you've got to be perfectly here and there. Whatever happened with kids being kids, right? And living their lives and working stuff out in the real world, which, again, is, what we're trying to do is get people back in the real world. We both have to work on screens, for our sustenance to live. But we don't want to be doing it all the time. It's not something we don't want to be on the screen. We want to be out, in nature with other people and away from screens, having conversations about real things and working things out in real time and getting pieces of the puzzle for
And
our
time.
life. Yeah,
Time slows down when you do that. Time
it
slows down.
does.
Your mind empties. It's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
it's interesting. And like this, talking about, we would discuss this topic on at the live event, but from the idea of how time can time as a controlling variable in our reality is such a weapon. It's such a weapon. It's so used as a weapon
yeah.
and has probably always been that way. So we'll bring in this concept of time and we'll see the example playing out today with our kids, but also today with us, and where it's affected our. So yeah, time's one big thing that we're going to focus the live event on and bring it to now.
Mm,
Yeah. So,
yes. And we'll definitely
but
end on a happy note, like our concept of the positive charge and what we can do, to build, because ultimately, everyone's talking about this new world, new earth, whatever new reality that they want, but we have to create it. Like the reason we got into such a sort of muddle is because we weren't right. We were letting the government make decisions and things. So it's us that need to go out and do something different if we want something different in the future, right? If we want a different reality, it's no use complaining that, oh my God, the world's dying and everything's so expensive. There's ways to get around this. There's always options. There's always at least a third option, right? They love to tell us there's always only two. But there's always at least a third option. And really, unless you've got at least
yeah,
three options or perspectives, you can't make a decision. You're being told something. If you've only got left or right, right or wrong, black or white as your decisions, you're being told something because it's just one answer and then polarized on both sides, right? Just like politics, two wings of one bird, all this kind of stuff. So we're going to sort of talk about that as well and
I
where we
know.
think we're going
Yeah.
and what we think we can do to make it much better and to get out of the programming because the programming is strong at the moment, right?
Oh, it so definitely is. And we were having this really great conversation the other night. And one of the things that we talked about was that it's not it's not our nature to be egoic. It's not our nature to be separate. It's not our nature to be individualized like this. Our nature is actually like, we as humans are attracted to each other. We're attracted to spending time together. We're attracted to community. We're attracted to relationships, to friendships, we're attracted to each other. And that's like a magnetic field that humanity shares, right? That they want to come together. And that's where they get their most fulfilling sustenance. My words are a bit slow. I'm too cold. My language is coming out slowly. But um, from that perspective, I mean, we've really been strongly presented a culture here where it's every man for himself. You
Yeah.
know, every man out there doing his own thing, caring about his own bank account, caring about his own family, doing his own thing. And the kids as well now, become influencers, have your YouTube channel, do your own thing, make your own money. Like, and they're very separate because they're really judgmental of each other and they're like really like battling this at such young ages now. But the nature of humanity is to come together.
Mm.
And I guess that's why the invaders have spent so much time and energy in making sure we don't get to do that
Yeah.
easily,
They
right? That and
divided.
even
Mm.
here in Australia, like it's getting increasingly more difficult to come together. They're talking about, it's very like the world's turning into the Hunger Games, where you're literally like allocated your lot in life and you have to get permission to travel further. That Hunger Game notion is coming in. But my point is that humanity is not naturally separate from each other. We are pack animals. And that's why we relate to the mammalians of our world. We are connected to them and we are connected to that, pack
Mm.
version. So all the work that Cam and I do is always around, acknowledging this sentiment. And one thing I want to talk about right now, Cam, is the newspaper. Okay, dudes, let's just go through this in minute detail because this concept is something very fucking cool that will serve our community really fucking well. And everyone will have a really big blast when it actually forms into manifestation. So,
Yeah.
Campbell, can I speak on the newspaper for a couple
You
of
can
minutes here?
speak on the newspaper, yes.
Okay.
The TA
Thanks,
times.
darling. Thank you. Okay, so guys, I really, really want everyone in our community, Australia-wide and worldwide, to consider spending half an hour and submitting something to this newspaper. So here's how it works, right? On our homepage of the tartariaaustralia.com website, there is a section on the Tartaria Australia newspaper. There is a box which has this drop-down menu, and you can submit anything. Imagery, PDFs, text, words, anything. Music, video. It has a category. You select your category and you submit it, right? And that goes into a folder on our G drive, which is going to be what makes up the content of this newspaper. This newspaper is about getting us back into the physical world. It's about getting us back to around the 80s, you know, where we used to read things and have a cup of tea and a fucking spliff in a magazine or a book or a newspaper or a newsletter, and then we could share it with other people. We could take it round. My highest vision for this newspaper is that the community, all of us worldwide, gets excited and contributes. What are those contributions? It can be, and I would love this so much, your theories. Because not everyone's going to want to get up onto YouTube and do their theories via video. So this is a platform for everyone who doesn't want to do that, but has got things that over the last 5 years, 10 years, they've collected. It can be an article that you write. It can be a story that you write. It could just be a few random paragraphs introducing an idea. It doesn't have to be highly intellectual. It doesn't have to be perfect, elegant writing. It just has to be authentic, right? You're
Mm.
speaking to the
Mm.
community who you've met and love. It can involve classifieds. Anything you want to put into a classified. Are you looking for love? Are you trying to sell something? Are you trying to buy something? Are you trying to find land? Are you trying to join a community? Are you trying to solve a problem? Are you looking for a van or a trailer? It doesn't have any limitations. Whatever it is you want to contribute or that you're looking for, put it into a classified.
Mm.
Um, do you have maps that you want to share that you've collected? Or photos from different places you've been that really stood out to you, and you just want to submit the photos with a sentence that tells us where it is and what it was. Um, do you have other articles that you've saved on your computer for some reason because it's so good and you want to share it with people, but you haven't had any way to do that, right? So that's like mass general content. The
Mm.
second really amazing part about it is it's all designed to support our community. So if you have an event coming up, you have a group on Telegram or a group on WhatsApp, you have a Facebook page, you have a product, a service, an art form, a modality, any of those things, then you are warmly invited to submit it to the newspaper so that our whole community can access it. This is a really good, amazing moment of wealth creation if any of those fit for you. Because
Yeah.
suddenly the amount of people that have the newspaper will be connected to your offering. And that can come in the form of information that you just send in as a Word document. You could like design it, get an ad designed, or design it yourself. Get onto Canva. Promote your art. Promote your shit, man. Whatever the fuck you're doing. So that's a
Mm.
whole other thing. And it's
Yeah.
free.
It's all free. That's the thing. It's all free, guys. So, yeah, if you've got a business or if you're trying to get something built, groups, whatever, yeah, send us a submission in and we'll put it in and
Yeah.
put it in the classifieds or wherever it belongs. And it's your audience. It's not like hit and miss trying to, put ads out, for the general
That's
public.
right.
This is your people, right? Who
Yes.
are going to be into what you're doing, right? At least a lot of them will be. So yeah, this is we're trying to help everyone, right? Like with who's trying to exit the system and do their passion, right, and build businesses and make the world that we all want to go into. That's what we want to support. But also, yeah, the theories, man. Tell us what your theories are, and then you'll get people can respond, right,
Yes.
in the next issue, and we can get
Yes.
conversations going and put all these puzzle pieces together. And another thing is, like we said before, a lot of people are isolated. So you can sit down and read some content that's on your level from your people, and so this is what it's all about, really, is community and getting, promoting everyone and getting everyone in touch, right? And for all those people that are, sort of feeling alone, they're the only person, that they know physically in their area that can think. This
Yep.
can be a place to touch base, right? And like Kelly
Yep.
said,
Yep.
if you want to put in a classified, if you're looking for a housemate and you don't want, you want to make
Yep.
sure that they're, haven't had bills prick and, they can think, then put it in here. If you're looking for love, if you're
That's
whatever it
right.
is, if you've got a van that's just sitting in the driveway and it's a camper van and you want to rent it out, right? Rent it to your people, right? So all these types of things, but especially stories, photos, ideas, theories, whatever it is, whatever's going through your mind at the moment, get it on
Yep.
paper and
And
send
I
it
think
in.
and artwork, we need
Artwork.
artwork, we need
Yes.
covers and artwork, cross any sort of game or astrology readings,
Yeah, if there's any
anything on that
cartoonists
level.
out there.
Like it's up to us basically. And it can either be fucking fantastic. Yep, it can be fantastic and it requires all of you to like decide to make it that way because it's content reliant. So if you all committed to say putting half an hour aside after you watch this podcast or half an hour watching what it is, I think you would generally be quite amazed at how positive the experience is and how much feedback you'll be generally amazed. You've frozen, Cam.
Yes,
No,
that's
there
right.
you go.
Yes, yeah.
So the way that so the are we
Yes,
back?
yes, we're good.
Okay. So again, it's up to us. We have to commit. Now, I know pretty much everyone who's flowed through this place in the last 2 weeks has something they could offer. And it may be not necessarily something they would ever thought to have offered it. But I know last volunteer, we had Dusty and Joan who helped us build the stage. And they had lots of amazing tidbits for people who were living off the grid or traveling. All those things are really great and important. If you got some insight into, I don't know, investment or wealth creation, or you got some insight into trauma clearing or whatever the fuck it is.
Hmm.
I know that I will light a spliff and read every single word from every single person in that newspaper, and I'm pretty sure every single person who gets the newspaper will do the same.
Hmm.
So please give it a go, guys, because
Yep.
at the end of the day, we've got 50 years left on this realm. Maybe. Like, let's make
let's have fun.
Let's connect us.
Yeah, yeah. Poetry as well. If you're a musician, and you know you're on Spotify or something, you can promote that as well. Kelly's just having a bit of a coughing fit. She's on what is it? Mulan and um,
Chlorophyll.
chlorophyll. So it's
Yep.
breaking up the phlegm in her
Yeah,
chest.
I didn't even know this, but anyone who has a smoker's cough, it's actually a hard phlegm. It's hard phlegm that's got caught in your lungs, and your body keeps trying to expel it, but it's not. So chlorophyll and Mulan breaks that down.
Mm.
FYI for anyone who's,
There
you
you
know,
go. And that's the exact
cougher like
kind of
me.
thing that we can put in our newspaper. If you found something that's cured something that's been, an
Exactly.
ailment for a while, let us all know. Right. And this, if there's any cartoonists out there too, we're looking for a cartoonist who, all cartoonists, so we can get some cartoons, have some fun in there as well. But yeah,
Yep.
basically get on it, whatever it is. It doesn't have to fall
Yep.
within any sort of lines or boxes or anything. It's just whatever it is that's relevant to you, or it's going to be relevant to other people in our community. So get on it, send it in, tartariaustralia.com, link below, and just scroll down the page until you see the newspaper bit.
Yeah, it's about you saying hello. Fucking take the time and say hello to your community. It is like one of our solutions to changing this isolated process that we're all in and bringing humanity back together, right? So at the moment, the first edition is free. So if you haven't submitted, and there's a link on the website to get your free edition, we need your address because it's the physical embodiment. It's a physical thing.
Yeah.
And then when we go through the process, we're going home in a couple of days, and this will be the first thing. And as we go through this process, we're going to be able to cost it out properly, understand what it's going to cost, how we're going to do it, and get it into everyone's mailboxes. And then I will go back and adjust the price. So right now, for openness, it's sitting there. If you want to pay for a subscription to receive it in your mailbox after the first free edition, is sitting there at $30 a month. So, and that basically is a membership to Tartaria Australia, and supports a few other things. But I think that will get adjusted once we've done the actual figures and produced the first edition, and we know what we're looking at. We know the sort of like length it's going to be, the way we're going to produce it, and that will be adjusted accordingly. But our aim right now is to get you guys the first edition, and so we can all see what this could become and what we're looking at, and if it's something that the community actually cares about and wants and would enjoy. But it totally comes down to everyone getting off their asses and putting something in there. Hmm? That's what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
comes down to. I'm excited, Campbell. I just
yeah,
think it
yeah,
could be so amazing for us.
yeah, yeah.
And it'll be something that we collect. It'll be a newspaper that you probably won't throw away. You'll probably pass on to other people. In fact, we'll encourage you to pass it on to someone else. And it probably won't be something that gets chucked in the bin because it will have resources and contacts and things in there that you'll really want to keep, probably from that are all relative to TA Australia, you know?
Mm, yes. So get on it. Put your submissions in. We'd love to hear from you. Even if you've got a YouTube channel, just tell us a bit about it, who you are, and give us a link, and
Yes.
you know, get the community out there on your channel, and that way you can get out your ideas too.
Yes.
But so whatever it is, let us know and jump in. And yes, so what else are we talking about here, Kelly?
Well,
This is
yeah, I know.
going
So this show is just, yeah, this show we're in between. We're on the tail end of building here. We've got a couple of days left. So we just wanted to get up and say hi. We haven't disappeared.
We're
We've
still here.
got
Yeah.
all this stuff going on, and
It's been two
yeah,
weeks, yep. So we definitely
and
wanted to
just
say
really I
hello.
wanted my aim
Oh,
My aim was to talk about the newspaper. And just so I'm just going to say it one more time, it's up to you guys to contribute. Don't judge your contribution. Think of it as saying hello and introducing yourself to the community. Take half an hour this week to fucking
mm,
do it. Don't put it off. Just get it done. Everyone get it done. And let's see what comes out of that. Do it on the website. Submit anything you need. It'll be done. I'm
yeah.
excited. Let's try this, guys. Let's fucking try
Mm.
this.
And everything goes in, by the way. It's not like we're going to be going through and, going, oh, that's not good enough, or this is, everything's everything. You send it in, it'll be in the paper.
Fuck yeah. Mistakes and all.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Authenticity, man. Authenticity. And plus, Campbell, let's not mention if the internet does go fucking down or
This,
anything shit like that happens, or we lose the show or something crazy like that happens, then, we've got addresses, physical mailboxes,
yeah.
and you'll hear from us.
Mm.
So that's like a safety net as well,
All
guys.
right. But going back to the 80s, man, those days when you used to wait for something to turn, waiting for the mailman to turn up. Um, yeah. So let's get that back. And yeah, if anything does happen, yeah, we'll be putting out
I used to do that
emergency.
with Mad Magazine.
Yeah, yeah, Mad Magazine, right? We all did it back in the 80s, right? I think England had Beano. Definitely Mad. I was into Mad and all these
I
other things.
loved Beano.
Beano, yeah. The girls had Dolly magazine and there was Smash Hits. We were into magazines, right? And so that's the thing. If you send in maps and things, we can get them printed. People can cut them out and put them on their wall, just like we used to do with the pop stars, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's fucking true. Have you been successful with electroculture? Have you got images of your gigantic vegetables or what you've done with your garden? Are
Mm,
you building an off-the-grid community? Tell us about it. Are you building yourself an off-the-grid system? Let us know. I mean, these are all helpful. Basically, the purpose is to A, have you guys interacting on a different level, and B, being able to upskill us all. Share
mm.
our bits so that we've all got them.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Like, when we work together, we achieve so much more. And this is actually the trick that, the elites, right? All these people who shall not be named. This is what they do. They pool all their funds. They keep it in the family, as they say, right? So we can do that as well, instead of, thinking we're out there on our own and oh my God, everything's so expensive and how are we going to do this? And oh my God, we can pull, our resources, whatever that is, right? And we can create something better. We can pool our ideas, right? We can use our community to help all people in who have got their own businesses to become more successful, right? And we can, and through that, we can build something greater. And this is what Kel
Yeah.
was talking about before about
Fuck yeah.
we're supposed to come together, right? We're magnetically attracted to each other. But
We're
of course,
designed that way.
we're designed
We
that way.
are.
They introduce, money and class and all these different divisions, right? And now, and so many people have told us this, is some people you can't even talk to now. Like the division is so great that we have no polarity with them, right? So that's what we want to build. We need to, and to do that, you need to be on the same frequency. When people are on a different frequency, you can't talk to them. When you're on the same frequency, which we see again all the time, when people, come to the show or they come up and help us build stuff, they're on the same level, and there's just this
Yeah.
connection, and things just start to flow so much easier. So I think that's a big thing that we need to really, really think about and take on board going forward. We can't do this on our own. We've got to come together, right? And be a force to be reckoned with. And that force is just to create what we want. We don't need to tear the system down. We just need to build what we want. And we can do that together, but pretty hard to do on your own. So whatever way that you can get involved, right? Let's do this already.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Everything we do from now on is going to be about pulling the power of people numbers together.
Hmm.
It's going to be that's the thing. We're magnetic fucking batteries. We're like so attracted to each other. All we want to do is be around each other. We just like fucking whoa. And then we've got this fucked up charge in the middle way getting in the way, right? Or
Hmm.
this like invasive energy getting in the way of us like coming together.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just want to read my newspaper on the toilet and fucking like
Smoke a
like I used
spliff.
to do
We
with
know.
what was that? I used to get that gardening earth publication from the
Green.
70s, like they were really
Yeah.
popular. I can't remember
No, I can't
now,
remember
but they were
either.
very popular.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
used to always have a pile of them in the bathroom,
No,
teaching me how to, look after chickens. And I'd
yeah.
look at the classifieds and I loved it, man. It felt real. It
No.
felt real. It felt real.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's
Anything we
more,
can do to get
yeah.
off the screen.
Yeah, if you're producing food or you got hints on chickens or how to grow a cucumber well or whatever it is, we want to hear about it. Even if you
Maybe you
think, oh
want
my
to
God,
write
what
a
is it? People will be interested.
Maybe you want to write a love letter to the earth or a love letter to
Mm.
humanity or the love letter to the community. Maybe you want to write poetry. Maybe you just want to address a topic that's been pissing you off and you want to put it in there and just like have get feedback. I mean, maybe you've got some sovereignty law. Maybe you've got some like amazing angle around taxes, or maybe you've got some insight into, getting sovereign licenses or not paying the your fines. All that stuff should be in there. Have you
Mm.
forgot it, man? Have we gone on enough about this? Can
Yes.
we like dedicate the whole show to inspiring our community to get up and to do something about this? Half an hour this week, half fucking an hour, team. Come on. We've
Yes.
got this. Let's do it. Let's create something.
Mm. Yeah, totally. And that's the thing, like it won't work without you guys, right? It's all, for you guys and us. So yeah, contribute. And don't no excuses. Don't say, oh, no one would be interested in this. Of course they would, you know. So put it out there. That's the
Trust
thing.
me, I'm interested. I am interested in everything you want to say to me. I'm not interested in. I am interested. I will read it. I want to get to know you. I'm interested. I'm
Mm,
already in love with you. I'm already in love with you. I've already known you all before. You know that I already have known you before. I love who you are. I love this community. I love, and I'm so excited to actually read something from you, you know?
mm. Yep. So
Mm.
wherever you are, I mean, at the start, I think we're just, I don't know, are we doing international as far as places? We got to
Yeah.
work. So we are. Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So wherever you are in
Worldwide.
the world, it's not just Australia, send it in to us
No,
and
it's worldwide.
we will
Yeah,
post out
absolutely.
your paper to you.
It does not matter where you are in the world. We can get a fucking newspaper to you.
Yeah,
How
so
cool is
link
that?
below, guys. Sign up. Like Kelly said, the first edition is free, so nothing to lose, right? And yeah, and then pass it around, like show it around, and we figure that the first one, we'll sort of get people on board when they see what we're doing, and
We'll see the
we'll
vision.
push it.
The
Yeah, we'll see
whatever
the vision.
comes out of the contributions, the community will get to see the vision of it and work from there.
Yeah. So go below, sign up on the newsletter to get your first free edition, and then go and write something for it because we've got to get this all put together in the next month or so we can get it out to you.
Yes, exactly. Now, I want you guys to do it this week. This week, just do it. So, all right, that's enough on the newspaper topic. I really like don't want to bore you with it. Oh, heavens forbid. Don't want to do that. I don't have a fantastic new theory to back it up or anything. But I will tell you that I'm excited to see what happens. And yeah, we got the Millennium gig coming up next month on the 19th of July. It's going to be a fantastic show. I think we finally cracked the formula of how we want to present these live shows. We are going to be like really calling out the invaders of humanity in some clever coded manner. But when we run the show at the Jolly Swag Tour, we would do it all again, deeply uncensored, obviously. I don't know how Campbell's going to keep me in check. Honestly, I don't know how you're going to do it, buddy. How are you going to keep me saying code words? I just don't. Good luck to you, my friend.
Yes,
Good
yes,
luck.
yes.
Please try not to get us murdered, but good luck, because I'm
I'm just
so
gonna have a button that like censors. It goes beep, and I'll just sit there. And as soon as I see the jit sort of starting to form, I'll be beep, beep, beep.
I think we're going to need one. I think
Yeah,
maybe you need to put something on me like an electric shock. You know those
yeah, like
jokes
The
where you used to shake
Simpsons.
each other's hands? Yeah,
We're
I get
training you not
zapped
to
every
say
time I
it.
get anywhere near. Look,
Um,
it's going to be a good show. So if you are in the area or want to fly up for it, yeah, it's on the 19th. Mullany doesn't have that much accommodation, a little bit. The Sunshine Coast does, obviously Brisbane, obviously down the coast. So yeah, get yourself organized. It'll be a great show. We've got a cool Irish little pub to go to afterwards, and we've got Mullany Lane there for it. I mean, it's just Mullany's fantastic. Come and
yeah,
see where we live and this amazing town that we've connected with high frequency energies and yeah, and then we're going to be touring this show. So yeah, if you have any other venues in mind around Australia that you'd like us to take the show to, get in touch.
let us
We've
know.
even been invited to take it to Rockhampton.
Yep, yep. So we're keen to get our shit together. It's been a lot going on this year, but we're gonna
Oh,
get
what's
this
happening with
show.
Get Your Shit Together Hour? This
Yes.
sort of didactic.
Well,
Geez,
people,
this is an update
yes. I mean, it's
show.
good. We've been going for a few months. I'm definitely, getting a lot out of it. I've started, having a few manifestations come through. So come and join us, guys. Get your shit together hour. And the thing about the get your shit together hour is, it's not
It's
a
hard
class.
now.
You don't have to be, if you.
It's hard because it's in winter.
What was that? What did you say? Oh, hello. Can you hear me? I think we froze.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can. You're all fucked up though. I
I'm
don't
all
think anyone
fucked
heard
up.
any of
All
that.
right, we're back. Yeah, sorry about the connection on this one, guys. But yeah, the Shit Together Hour. You don't, you can sign up. You don't have to be there every day. You don't have to. It's just whatever, you want to do, right? If you want to do it once a week, do it once a week. If you, so it's not a thing that, because a few people have mentioned to us that, oh, I want to do it, but I don't know if I can turn up every day and rah, rah. You don't have to. All this stuff is
No.
up to you. It's sort of everything we do. It's there's no rules. So it's just whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it's true. Like, let's go through that in minute detail. This is our minute detail podcast.
Yeah.
So, the Get Your Shit Together hour, just to be clear, you go onto the website, you register, you'll get a Zoom link. The Zoom link is what we use every single morning. And unfortunately, it's now cold and dark at 6:30 in the morning, and it's way more effort to get up and be present, freezing your ass off. That's true. But you also get, when you register, you also get the videos that we go through every day, which are different. And you can actually watch it in your own time. You'll get a private link. You can watch them in your own time, wherever you are, whenever you want to. So that's the first thing. And as Campbell
Mm.
said, you don't have to attend every day. You could come once a week. It
Mm.
doesn't matter. And then also, as an international guest, if you are not in Australia, the Zoom link is at 6:30 a.m. wherever you are in the world. So at 6:30 a.m., look at my jumper. Look at this.
You're wearing
You
rags.
know, that was a wild, this is a wild cat started this, and then I've just been painting and climbing.
Oh, okay,
This is the
yes.
sort of shit that we wear here. Like good day. But But at 6:30 a.m., you can log on to the same Zoom call at your timeline wherever you are in the world and participate because it's a sunrise event. It's a morning event around the world. So you don't have to be in Australia to do
Mm.
it. The point is you're getting your shit together. So you can do it at any place in the world at any time you want, or you can start it in the morning at 6:30 a.m. and you'll have all the links. So there's no reason for anyone not to participate, even if they only want to participate once a month or once a week or just want to watch the videos in their own time.
Mm.
It's up to you.
Yeah, yeah. So if the time's not good and you've got to drop all the kids off and you're back home at 9, we'll do it at 9, right? Because basically what we do, we don't talk. I mean, we normally, say hello and then we just go straight into it. There's no talking or anything. So it's not like you're going to be missing out on anything if you're watching it by yourself. And then on Fridays we have the good shit hour where we do talk and we sort of gather up and we talk about how people have been going, what have they created, how, are they getting their shit together? Basically, share the
Yeah.
good shit. So, yeah, the weekly morning or whatever time you want to do it is silent, but then you can definitely join us on a Friday evening. So that's not a night, it's not an early thing, and I think that's probably morning for the US and the UK. But yeah, it's up to you. Get on board,
And it's
sign
by
up, download the
donation.
videos,
So
and it's by
yeah.
donation.
Yep. Yep. So you could donate $1 if you really feeling that scummy and
Yeah,
scared by
and
it.
we're
I'm
halfway
kidding.
through. We're halfway through. Is it June? Are we in June? June, which is the 6 months. We're halfway through the year, right? So if things have gone fast and you're like, oh my God, I haven't got my shit together. What's happening? I had so much to do. Well, go and sign up on the link below.
Yeah, man. It's fun. It's just a fun additional thing that the community's doing. So, yeah, I mean, that's three things: the newspaper, the live gig in a month, and the Get Your Shit Together hour. And there's two other very cool things that we'll talk about on the next show once all the details are more sorted out. Um,
Yes.
so, Campbell, I'm sorry. I feel like I've let you down because we haven't talked about anything like. We
Yes.
haven't had a mate, but all I can think about is the fact that I have a building out there that needs painting and completion today. So my head is just blank because when you go into nature and you go around and you're in nature with community building, honestly, you don't think about much, right? Apart from that,
Mm.
which is more like true to the human condition. Like all this thinking we're doing and all this chewing and theorizing, it's quite unnatural for us, actually. Like, this
Yeah.
is us adapting to this crazy reality we're in. It's not that we normally sit down and consider ourselves spending our lives committed to philosophizing and theorizing. It's not actually the normal human state of mind, really, I don't think.
No, no, no. All this worry about how am I going to pay the rent and is there going to be food in the supermarket and oh my God, got to get the kids to school. All this stuff is not natural. That's all the
And
system.
and what is time?
And
What
what
is
is time?
time? What is
What is
death? What are dreams? What is reality? What's the all that stuff? It's quite unnatural for to have to think about.
mm,
Usually, I think that this is a side effect of the situation that we're in right now, and our make known the unknown mandate.
mm,
Figure this shit out.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
when you are in a scene like what's behind me right now, you, you tend to be thinking less of those things because you're just like getting up and being present. And all I can think about right now is painting this building and finishing my job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We haven't been thinking about bills or mortgages or any of that kind of stuff because it's all the illusion, right? The overlay. It's all the invaders stuff. They want us focused on anything but ourselves and what makes us happy. And guys, we're only going to be, this person that we are now once. This life we only get once, so may as well have fun on the way through, right? That's what it's all about. Learning, fun, get out, congregate, build things, have good conversations. That's what it's all about, and that's all the programming, all the agenda. It's all to stop that. It's all to stop that. Right? Get us out of nature. Get us in a square house, right? A house block on a street block, right? So that they put blocks everywhere. They're blocking us. They're blocking us from ourselves and from our community. So unblock yourself. Be an unblocker.
Unblock yourself. Yeah, an unblocker. All right, cool. All right, man. Well, look,
Just a short one, yeah, just a short one today. We just really wanted to say hello because we know we haven't putting up for 2 weeks, and people have been saying to us, "Where are you? What's going on?" So we wanted to say
we're
hello.
in the bush, man.
Yeah,
We're in the
man, we're in the
bush
bush.
building,
Yeah, man,
building a live venue.
building a
It's
live
pretty fucking cool.
venue for
Who does that?
September.
Who decides to do a show and then have to build it? I love
Yeah,
that. I
it's
love
great.
that.
Yeah, man, and people travel from all over just to come and help us build and
Yeah,
to sit
love
around
it.
fires and have conversations. But yeah, man. So just a short one, guys. We will be back. Proper show next week. We've definitely got some theories we've been meaning to get out for a few weeks. We just haven't got there. So yeah, full show
Oh, they're good
next
too. They're
week.
good too.
They're good. They're
Yep.
good. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Have an
Yeah.
amazing week. Go
All
down
right,
below, check
cool.
out all the links, write your newspaper,
Newspaper, newspaper, newspaper,
newspaper,
newspaper, newspaper,
send us
newspaper.
stuff in, even if it's just a photo you think's cool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Mulaney gig and get your shit
Mm-hmm.
together hour. All the links are
Mm-hmm.
below, guys.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right. Fantastic. We'll be back properly for a proper show next week once we get home. And yeah, we've got some good things to talk about. So I'm excited. All right, guys, you have the best week ever. Thanks for tuning in to for us and blah blah blah. Out for Tartaria, Australia
All that
on
good stuff.
our wild bush adventure here.
There you go, guys. Stay awesome. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Lots of love.